uppercase name. So what I want to do is if I type, let's say, first name and then last name, so it will convert my letters from lowercase to uppercase. This is my requirement. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So can you tell me how can I do that? Do all this? What do you think? I mean, how should I do that? So if I think of let's say screen, and I will have two box, one for first name and one for last name, and let's say mm, uh, a look area where I can display the concatenation of first name and last name, but in the uppercase. What should be your strategy to implement this? Talk. It's okay to be wrong. That's fine. I mean,
We
So
will have two lightning input boxes. Okay.
lightning to input boxes. Okay.
And then we will have output box for displaying output. And in the JavaScript controller, we will be using JavaScript function for capitalizing that, and we'll combine means concatenate, and we'll store it in our
Yeah.
in single variable. Yeah, like that we can do.
Yeah. Very nice. So you mean to say I will have two input boxes where I can enter first name and last name, and in the JavaScript I will get these two names and then convert these two names and then make it uppercase and display, right?
Yeah, correct.
So this is my strategy: getting two input boxes, passing this to. I mean, let us further drill down it. Okay, so I mean strategy I understand. Now let's see what I have to do next is to get two boxes, two input boxes, for example, and then I enter the name, and then I have to pass those two names into JavaScript. How do I pass?
with the property binding.
Doing the property binding. So I can have the property, uh, and then in the so first of all, what base component I should be using?
Uh,
To
we don't
capture first
understand.
name. So to capture first name and last name, what control I should be using?
Maybe we can use event.target.value.
Event.target.value, event.target. What is that target? I mean, what control I am
Lightning
using?
input.
What component I am using?
The on change handler
On
for input box.
change handler on what?
On lightning input.
Lightning
Lightning.
input.
On input. That's the answer I'm looking for. So for the first name and last name, I would be using two lightning input box, and then I would be using property, and then through the change of those lightning input component, I would um, pass that on through the event handler. I'll get the values, and then I'll convert them into the uppercase, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So see, I mean, you have solved it already now, right? I mean, it is just now adding the code. So looking at the requirement, you thought, okay, this what is my high level requirement? How can I distribute the requirement into UI and JavaScript? And then what are the components I should be using to fulfill that? And then finally writing the code. So writing the code is not a big deal. as far as you understand the requirement and then you strategize um, uh, your um your implementation, then the final implementation is not a big deal. If you look at it, I mean, you will see this in the, you'll see the code everywhere. Okay, but how you do that, what you do that and how you do that is something you have to make the strategy on. So let me go back here. uh, so based on that, we have done the exact thing. Look at this one, lightning input. So you solved it already. So lightning input for first name, lightning input for last name, and this is where I am displaying, where I am getting this from. So this one will help me concatenate these two. So you see, in every input box, I am calling on change, and then working accordingly, right? So let's do that. Mm, Control C. Is that clear to everyone? Guys, I expect uh, some response to, for me to know whether you have understood or not.
Sure, Sumant.
Expression. Now, if I go here, so let me. So let me copy this one. Okay. So what I'm using it here. See, you might be wondering that, why I'm copying and pasting things, right? There are two options. Either I don't know what to write, okay, and the second option is I wanted you to understand. If you know the strategy and if you know what to write, you can get it from our lightning based component, right? Lightning based component here, lightning lightning based components. So soon as you create your strategy, you know, mm, what to where to copy the content from. It is, I mean, it's good. I mean, for me, it is both. I mean, I don't remember all these things. I don't need to remember. At my experience, I mean, see how things needs to be done. I don't need to remember. Okay, and then second, that's why I'm copying from there. And also, I wanted you to know that this, you have all the component given. Now it's up to you how do you get it. But I'm copying it. That does not mean that I don't understand all this. So I know each and everything so that I can make the changes accordingly. Hmm? So what I'm doing here is I'm getting a lightning card, and then in the lightning card, these are the two input I input, and then I'm converting it into the uppercase. Now if I go to the JS file, what are the things I need? I
Two
need to,
properties.
Properties, first name, last name,
right, properties first name, last
uppercase.
name. Where do I mean, I need to use the first name and last name from the contact, for example. Hmm? So if I want to use the first name and last name from the contact object, what should I do? Tell me.
Need
You
to
can
import
use the
the
field import contact dot name as you showed last time on Wednesday.
Right. So I should be first importing the contact dot name from the UI API, and then I need to use the, because if you look at this one, right, I have used the on change handler. So change handle change is the one that I have to write down, and then one to convert into the uppercase, right? Now if I go here and then come to the JavaScript, yeah, I may not need that. If I want to use contact, I can use contact, but I don't think we need this one. This is the simple simple one that we can use. So these are the two properties. And handle change in the is the change where uh, I am setting this to field based on what I'm sending. Now where do I write the conversion? Tell me, what do I write the conversion?
We can use getter for the property you're using to uh, using as output.
Right. So I can I mean, see, I can convert this here, right? I can convert the first as say upper. I can do this one, and I can do here also for both the cases, first name and last name. But where do I display this one? I need some property, right? I need some attribute. So this is my upper name, for example. So this is my final field which will convert, right? So where do I make these changes? I mean, where do I write the expression? So this is little tricky, guys. I mean, if you think of I mean, changing only the field values or working with only the field, in that case, I can directly use the field. But if there is field where I to need to work on some expressions like concatenations, or I have to write uh, some statement which is not a single uh, what do I say? How do I explain this one? Which is not a change in the single element itself. So if there is some expression involved, then in that case, I might need to use the getter and setter property. It's the same as using the single attribute, but the only change where you should use the getter and setter is to when you have expressions to be defined. Okay, otherwise you can use directly that field itself. But if there is any expression that needs to be evaluated, in that case, we can use the getter and setter property. So if I, let's say this one, so this is my getter and setter property, which is it says get uppercase full name. And then what do I do? Return this dot first name, this dot last name, and then I'm trimming if there is any spaces in the left side or the right side, and then I'm converting that into the two uppercase. So in that case, I don't need to have this one uh, defined. So get upper is become another property like this and this. But what is the difference? So see, this is a straight assignment, right? I'm not making any expression, but in this get property, the similar to this one, but it has some expression involved. That's why I'm using the getter and setter properties, right? And if I go to the HTML, I see I am using this one. This one. So this will go, and what will be returned? The concatenation of this first name and last name into the uppercase. Let's see how it works. Any question, guys? Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
So you have to know why you are doing things. Okay, sometimes we use greater setter and we don't know the meaning. We don't know why are we using it, and when I should be using greater setter and when I should be using the uh, uh, state variables. Hmm? So now, if I, let's say this is my home page, let me, you see my expression binding has come now, right? And then if I, let's say, put it here, I see my first name and last name. Okay, let me save it, and then if I go back, and let's see what is happening. See, as soon as I type small a, it becomes capital A here, right? And then N, see, it is becoming capital I, M, E, S, H, and then if I write P, A, N, E, R, J, E, E. Do you see it is converting? What it is doing, on any change of my any change of any change in this value in this fields, actually calling that event, and that event is so any change in these two fields is actually calling this event, and this event is actually uh, assigning the value to the first name. Okay, and then here in this uppercase, these two expressions are being concatenated. I'm sorry, these two values of this field are being concatenated and converting them into the uppercase. I will give a pause here. Please try to understand. These are very small things, but if you understand this, you will not forget.
Suman, I have a doubt.
Yeah. So,
So I'm not sure if I understand why we are using dollar and the inverted comma before the dollar. So what does that mean?
yeah. So this is the expression that you have to remember. I mean, to evaluate. I mean, this is how the evaluation happens. This is the syntax. Within the inverted comma, you have to use the dollar to convert. I'll give you another example where you will understand. But these are the few uh, syntax that you have to convert to the
So
getter.
so if I would have written like get uppercase full name, return space this dot first name dot to uppercase.
Okay. Okay. Let's see this one. That could have been what also. Dot to
To uppercase
uh, to uppercase. Yeah, to uppercase, and
and
then
then space like plus space and
uh,
then this dot last name dot uppercase.
it should work also. Should work.
Yeah, so I was saying for
See, it is also working. Yeah, it is also working, but I have to give a space here, right? So plus this so that I can have this one, right? If you look at this one, it was not giving a space between the first name and last name, so I did this one. If I go back here, and then say but still it is not uh,
Um,
oh no, I think no, I did this, I give the space, right?
maybe it did not get refreshed.
No, it refreshed. Reply the source. I think there are, that is the reason. Let's see. I mean, I can't remember this one. Yeah, right. Yeah. So now it is working this way, right? So we can use it. Thank you for making that point. Any other questions? Let us take another example. What I can do is uh, here. So I will not write this one. I think we have discussed this already. So here, if you look at this one, do you see? This is the same thing. What I'm doing is it's a get, the same thing that we just discussed. Item this dot uppercase, and then set. Set is what? This is now I'm using setter here also. Set item value this dot uppercase equal to value dot to uppercase. Let's see what are we doing here. In the HTML, I have nothing. It is just the uppercase. But here in the public property, what we are doing here is label item name string value on change equal to this. And then I am using the same string value and passing it along here. Okay. And then if I go to the JavaScript, it is nothing. It is just sending the value. So from one component to the other component, I am passing the value. And you see in the JavaScript, in the getter method, I'm getting whatever value I have here. But when I'm setting the values into the uppercase. The same example in a different way. Okay, the same example in a different way. In my previous case, I was setting the value here, but in this example that we have given, you will try it in your in your practice. Okay, I slide number 20, public property. When you see this, you will understand. So I am setting the property. While I'm setting the property, I'm converting. So greater and setter is to be used when I work on some expressions. Otherwise, it's okay to use the regular field with the value. Any question, guys?
I just have slight confusion like how to use the set property. Um, the setter.
Yeah, set property is simple. I mean, if you look at this one, right? So what I'm doing here, set, what I'm setting, whatever value I'm getting, and then this is my this is my variable, and I am doing value dot uppercase. Same thing what I just did. But how I'm passing it, it is simple. I mean, see, one thing, tell me if I have to pass, right? Let's say this one, right? We have discussed this one. So item name, and I'm passing the value. So in our previous examples that we use, if I want to set some value, what is the property that I had to define into this component, inside this component? Try to remember. If I have to assign some
API.
value to a attribute of a component, how do I need to declare?
API.
API, right? So this should have been, if I use it, if I declare the item name as API, in that case I can pass and set the value, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Because this is not a simple assignment, simple value assignment of this field. That's why we have not defined this as my API. Okay, we have exposed the getter and setter, and I want to set this value through the setter, and then I'm having an expression inside it. Okay, what is that? It is this. See, I have not declared that as a API, but I have used this as API and then getter and setter. So now this becomes the API, and then I am setting up the value and changing it to the uppercase. It's an expression. That's why I have using the setter. Otherwise, I could have used directly API item name. But how do I convert it into the uppercase? That's why I use the setter.
So so let's say to define a property as API, we write @API space the property name, correct?
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
here we are using @API, then we are using two methods: get a item name and set item name. So the
Right.
API is setting for both
Yeah. So
getter and setter.
if you look at this one, if you look at good question. If you look at this one, right, I could have done only the get. So the example that you are saying, I can only have this one and not this one. In that case, I would not be able to set the value. I can only get the value. Then I have to get some other mechanism to convert the lower to uppercase.
Okay, so
So
here
I'm declaring
API is
two
for only
API.
get.
One is to get and one is to set.
Okay, okay.
I can use only set, but in that case, I cannot get the value. I need to
And
have
set
some
value,
for that.
yeah. And that set value you are sending to another component. And that set value you are sending to another component, right?
Right. You see, what I need to do is, because I'm setting up this value, right? So what I'm doing here? Am I not setting up the value here?
Yeah,
That's
you
why
are taking the string value. Yeah.
that's why I need the set property, and I'm also getting the value.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
I'm
from the string value. Yeah.
right. That's why I'm using both getter and setter property.
Okay. Okay.
It may be a little bit of confusing when you understand or when you listen, but do some examples, and then let's say you don't uh, write, do not write anything first, and then see what is happening. See, now one thing you have understood is, if you are not dealing with some expression, you can simply use the API and the variable directly, right? This much you have to understand. So far you have understand that one, right? Now, if there is any expression, sorry, if there is any expression involved, in that case you can use getter and setter property. Now, if your requirement is only to get, then use the getter property. If then you cannot set the value from outside. But if you want to set the value, in that case you have to use the set property. Clear? I will pause one few seconds so that you can think. Any question from anyone, guys? If you guys are thinking that okay, I'll watch the video later and then we'll try to understand, it may not work. Speak up if you don't understand. Okay, good. Let's move on. We have used all this one example. Okay, so lightning record form, we have discussed this one, right? Now let's say this one. Create record, right? If you look at this example, here I'm using the lightning record form, object API names and all. And then I'm importing the account object, account name, account website field. This is the name and website field. Okay. And I am using the account object as this so that we know that we are dealing with the account object. And what are the fields I'm dealing with? Name field and the website field. And I am associating the field with the fields here. And the on success, when the account gets created, I want to do something. What I'm doing, I'll talk later, but I want to do something. So to do that, I have one event that I can handle is on success. Let's see how it works. So what will I do is, again, command shift P and then lightning web component, create record. Default is this. So in my HTML, what am I writing is so I'm not doing anything here first. Okay. And then in the JavaScript, what I'm doing is I have to import this fields, this object and field, and then I have to do the API, and in the API I need this account object equal to this so that it can be used there, and then in my field I'm using my fields. So what have I done is account object. This is my UI API. I'm getting the schema of the account object and assigning it to here, so that here I can pass the value what object I'm what object API name I'm using, hmm, and the next is what are the fields I'm using. So and the field I have imported all this field and I'm using it. Okay, so let me deploy this to source. Now if I, let's say, go to my account object, for example, and then if I do this one, and look, when I convert this code, when I convert the value and then save, this save is happening. Or let's say, let me do one thing. Let me create a new. Okay. So here, account name, greetings, for example, and then there is no other mandatory field. So if I click on the save, it saves, and see this is coming, right. One message, one cool message is coming at the top, right. So let us do this thing in my case. So create record is something I'm doing. Quick create. So if I save it and go back, so you see my account name is something I can create. So let me do the greetings and then website google.com, right. If I save it, it's saved. Hmm? But see, after I save, I did not get any message like what I saw before, right. So to do that, I have some mechanism that I could follow. Hmm? So what I need to do is I have to handle, I have to do something on success. Okay. What I want to do is handle success. Is what I want to do. So when the record gets created successfully, I want to handle that success. Okay. So here I want to do this. Yeah, on success is all small. So that's why I got this error. So on success is all small.
But it should be in open tag. It is in written closing tag.
Sorry? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you. It should be here. Now in the on success, what I'm doing is, if you look at this one, So there is one thing called platform show toast event. I'm importing that one. That is the toaster that I have to. So I have to import to use it. What I'm doing is I'm doing this. So this is a little bit of dispatcher. I mean, I have to use this. This is a event. This is an event, and then event needs to be uh, event needs to be dispatched. Okay, so let me. Okay, so till this one we have. Look at this one. So I am declaring a new showtoast event with a title which says account created and a message which says record ID is event detail.id. Means when this actually creates the record, it actually sends the whole record in that event, in this event. Okay, and this is the syntax to use. So event detail is the detail of the record, and then from that the ID of the record. You can use name also, or I can concatenate also if I want. So account created, record ID is this, and the variant is success, so that you can uh, see the message in green. Okay, and then I have to dispatch. So I have to dispatch this event to this component so that it displays the event accordingly. It displays the message accordingly in that banner that is this one. So let me do this one. And if I go here, and then let's say, let me refresh this one. And then greeting 2, for example, and again google.com. Now look, if I save, oh, it is not coming. Hmm. No, it is not coming. Something is going wrong. Let me see. I have tested all this, but something is going wrong. No, there is something wrong. I think. So what I'll do is I'll search with this one again. Some sort of
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, just go on the JavaScript file. Just a minute.
First file.
So constant EVT is equal to new toast event. The parenthesis is not closed.
Where?
Show toast event.
So it is closed here, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, I mean inside the event. This is a full uh, set of attributes that I'm passing.
Yes,
It
yes.
works that way only.
Yes, yes.
If I'm not Let me see this one. So that is what yes, yes, it is doing the same thing, right? And this is the same example that they're using also. Button. Maybe the constant. The constant. Let me check this one. Should not be. That should not be the case. Actually, I mean, handle success. I think. Oh, uh, this is interesting. Sometimes we do silly mistakes and we don't realize. I checked this one before we even come for the something is going wrong. Let me see. I'll see one more time. If it doesn't work, then I'll leave it. So it's the same thing. They're using here so toast. This is also so toast. Okay. Success. Message record ID. return.id. Okay. Let me see what is happening now. So, I want to see what is going on. Concepts. Yeah, object is coming, but somehow that show toaster is not coming. This is really strange. What is not happening? Platform source toast event, right? I'll be using this one. Okay, I'll use this.
त्याने dispatch का हटवला?
What did you say? No, dispatch is happening. Okay, I'll not spend more time here. I'll check that one and then we'll let you know. Okay. Okay. So sorry guys. I mean, I think something must have been gone wrong. So the next is if you look at this one, right? I mean, what we have used this one for is to create the record, because I'm not passing any record IDs here. So if I in the lightning record form, if I'm using any record ID, in that case it I can use it for my in two mode. One is either view or edit mode. So I'm using a edit mode here, and you see, I mean, on success was an event where I was using that event after the record is created, right? So now there is another thing is, if you want to do something while you are submitting the record, okay? So if you take this example, right? Let's say the need is to create the last name by the system. I mean, or maybe modify the last name by the system. Okay, in that case, what will you do? Okay, let's see. I think this may not be a right example, because in the account object, what is happening today? In the account object, if I go to the setup, there is nothing called last name. Account name. What I can do is we can use contact object instead, and we'll see. Name field. So have we used the contact object before in our example? Create record. see. I've used the contact object before. Yeah, so did not work. I have to check whether this works or not. So here, let's say in my create record, I'm using this one. Okay, object record ID, object API name, fields, column 2, mode edit, and the handles access. Okay, and then here what I have to do is let me import this. Account name, account industry, and this one. Okay, so and these are the fields. So if you see this one, right, I have this record ID, I have this object API name, and the field I'm using is uh, name, revenue, and industry. Hmm? And what I'm doing is, so record ID is associated here, object API name is associated there, field ID is here. So I wanted, see, there are different, very different properties and attribute I'm setting here, but you have to, I mean, while you do the hands-on, um, you do permutation and combination so that you understand, where to use what. So here I'm using two column, means it will display in two columns, not in one column that we saw it before, right? You see this one, it was only one column. Okay, so I'm asking two column like this. If you look at this one, this is two column. So one column in the left side and one on the right side. Okay. Now, if I come here, I want to do something while the data is submitting. Okay. So what is being done is, first of all, I have to do this one. Stop the form from submitting. So event dot prevent default. So default submission, I'm just trying to uh, trying to prevent. Now here in the event detail is my account record. Let's say I'm trying to uh, get all the fields into this constant value, and the field dot, it says last name, because I this is the last name was used, but I think, let's say, let me use the field dot, what is the field I'm trying to uh, use is name. Let me go back to my, and it's, there is one called field for revenue, right? I go to the revenue, account revenue. This is my field. So I want to change the field revenue to, let's say, this. Okay, and then let me deploy this. I hope this works. If it doesn't work, then we'll use something else. Yeah. Do you now see it is now 2 column? So I have used the three fields. That's why it is showing as 1, 2, and the next is taking the full column. But if I would have taken another column, then it should have been shown splitted this second row into 2 columns, and then industry on the left side and the other field in the other side. Hmm? So now, what is the revenue? I don't have any revenue here. So let me do it 1200, and then industry is agriculture. So I save it. Hmm? I save it. So if I refresh, somehow these are not working. I don't know why. Uh, and fields dot annual revenue is not working. So there is some problem. I think I'm making some little silly mistakes. Or why each is not showing up rightly? Yeah, see, annual revenue. It's not right. It's reflecting here, but when I'm doing this one, something is going wrong for sure. Let me check. This example we have seen, right? Create a record on success, handle success, run the code when account is created. Okay. Record form. Few compact. This is the edit. So I'm using it. Why is it not happening? Yeah. Okay, let us take this example. I think this is the right example that we have done the mistake. Let me see. What I'm not doing is I am not doing this one actually. I'm not submitting at all. So see, this is a problem in copying pasting where I may not have known this one. So let's see. I hope this might work this time. Okay. So if I do, let's say 12000, and then agriculture, say gene problem. So, okay, let's see this one. Something more that I have to look at. So if I copy this one, right, edit the record page, and then I still don't understand what mistake I have made, but let me go with this one. Yeah. What I'm doing.
We need to remove the quotation marks. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. They have also given it. So here is it. And next is if I come here, so it's the same thing. I just copy it, and then in the export, I'm copying this one also. Okay, so I don't know what I'm missing here. It's the same thing I'm just doing. Anyway, let's see. Maybe not. Today is not a good day. Deploy. And if I now come here, let's see what happens. Same thing we're seeing. Let me go to the home page and then come back just to make sure that it is refreshed well. So ABCDEF, and then let's say I do this one 1200. Sorry, it says last name, right? But how the okay, I do the save. Hmm. Strange. How the last name would work? It is not working. See, in this example, they have also not given the right thing. For a field dot last name, I don't have any last name. Should it? Should it be in the? Yes, I got. It is. I think something is not right. It is that the one? Yes, I got. column 2. I think something is happening in my machine. Maybe I mean the refresh doesn't work well many times. Okay, if I go here. Yeah, do you see this one now? It is working. So what is happening? The refresh might be a problem for me here now. You see, please, I mean, bear with me. What I'm doing is I have the record ID, object name, fields, 2 column, edit mode, and then on submit. Okay. Now you see, I'll make this a little better example next time, and I'll show you. But what is happening here? It is only the, if you look at here, I'm using it in the contact object, and it says salutations, first name and last name, because name is being converted into 3. The name field has three fields. Name is a complex field which has 3 fields in it. One is the salutations, first name and last name, right? So you see, while submitting it, though I am, let's say, giving the name as let's say Sumon and then Haldar, right? So ideally it should actually save this name and the last name, right? But because I am, while I'm submitting, I'm changing the field. What I'm doing is, first of all, I'm saying, okay, don't submit to the save, record save. So it will not save it. So before I say, what I'm doing is, I'm getting all the details of the field from from this event target, event detail. So event detail and fields, this is the field. And then what I'm doing is, from these fields, bring the last name. From this field, bring the last name, and then assign this value to my last name. So though I have passed Haldar in my last name, but I am telling the code not to go with the last name, but before I submit for save, change the last name to my custom last name. Okay, and then do the submission. So while do the submission, what it does is, it actually finds the, I mean, from the JavaScript, you cannot directly get the whole component. So to find one component from my JavaScript, I have to do this dot template query selector. So this will help me find the component which I am passing here. So what it will do, it will take the input as this, and then go to the HTML. From whole template, it will find that element. So it will find this one, and then it will grab this element. After it grabbing the element, it will do the submit, meaning it can submit the record with the fields that is supplied here. So now, what are the fields? Fields are these 3 fields, right? These 3 fields, and it will be submitted with the change name. I will do a pause here for you to understand. Please look at the statements and then try to understand what I just explained. And let me know if you have any question.
Suman, what is the difference when we use event.detail and event.target? I'm a bit confused when to use what.
Yeah, event.target means target means the target that you are referring, right? Let's say where did we use? Yeah, event.target, right? So what target? What is the target here?
Input box, lightning input.
Lightning in input box, lightning input box, and the name. So the target is this. Event target means this is my target, the component itself, and from that I am getting the name. And the event detail means in this event what are my field associated. It is kind of the same, I think, but event detail means there, I mean, there is a detailed record associated. When you want to look at the record associated, in that case you have to use the field, the detail, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so what is the, in this event I have one, because it is my lightning record page, where I have one record associated with this component, right? From the lightning record page we discussed that we have the record associated in it, right?
Yes.
So what is that record? So that record is the detail of the record. So this detail signifies that record itself, and then in that record my fields. I mean, at the during the end of the session I'll show you. There are, I mean, how you are getting it, I can custom define. I'll show you. I have few examples that I have used in this case. So details means representation of the whole record, and the field talks about the record of that fields, the fields of
Okay.
that record. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
And then in that, in the fields, I have one field called last name. So I'm changing the value from whatever I had in this field to this field. So I'm changing it before the submission. And then finally, I'm using the whole component and then do the submit on those fields, which is actually submitting finally.
Well, can you explain one time again
One time
this
again.
component?
Okay.
Actually,
So
I'm able to understand why we are here using that three field. Just go to the GS file.
mm,
Here, name field, revenue field, industry field. What is the use here? Why we are taking this here? Why are we are importing here? Because in the output, in the UI part, we have only find the name component only.
yeah, right, you are right. So I think I may not be using this one. I think I will make this a better make this as a better example. I can just write like contact dot name, and then I can get rid of this. You are right. I mean, I'll, because I just copied the example from the Salesforce component. So I don't think we need this one. Let me do this. It might work actually, because it is, I'm running it into my contact context. But if you really, let's say, want to use the account, if you really want to use this in the account field, it might need those fields, but the LDS uh, is intelligent enough to know where exactly it is working. Yeah, so if you look at this one, right, I'm only using the name field, and then let's say Andy4, and then uh, ABC1, for example. If I save it, so it is doing the same thing, which means I am using this name here, and using it only for the contact name context. But if I would have used this component into my account object, in that case the website account revenue could have been relevant. But I'll next time when we meet, I will make this example for few more objects so that you can get it better.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Hello, Suman.
Yeah, tell me.
So after submitting the record, dot submit fields, can we show message like show test event?
Yeah,
Record
yeah,
is submitted.
right. We can show all this one, but I'm not sure why
Okay.
this is not working. So I'll make that a little working example. Definitely we should be showing that one.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
no
No
doubt
problem.
about it. If you look at this one, right, it should I'm little bit of I mean, this is really bothering me why it is not showing this message. So I can, let's say, let me try one more time, okay, and see if it is working or not. I mean, it should work. I'm not sure why it is not working. I have to check that one. I don't want to waste much time here. So if I do this one, like let's say handle success, right? And in on success, I have to go and then declare one more on success here, right? So if I do this one, right, contact updated record ID. It actually should work. I go here to a refresh, and then let's say this, and then I'm saying last name for, right. If I save it, yeah, see it is not coming. I have to check why it is not coming. The on success
Yes.
should definitely work here. I mean, on success, it should show the show tester, and that's how you see. If you look at this example, right, I might be missing. I might be doing some silly mistakes here, because of which it is not working. Maybe it's really bothers me. I mean, why it is not working? This is simple. Okay, so let us do one more try. Okay, and let's see. But you guys have understand this one, right?
Yes, Suman.
Create record, this one, this example. I will make this example one more time, but I mean, let's see. Uh, let's try one more time. I'm really not understanding why it is not working. It should work. So if I go here and then do, let's say this one, and I'll do it for name only. So I get all these and then converted everything here. Hmm? And if I go back, and then took all these and then copy it all this here. Hmm? So this is the thing that I have done also before. Not much. Same example that I have taken. Hmm. Okay, we try in the home page first. Then see whether it is working in the home page. Okay. So let me go to the home page and do the edit page. Create record. What was that? Create record is my create record. What is doing like that? Strange. I have done this one. Oh, okay. Object API. It is if I do, let's see. Um, because I'm not in the account page. I'm saying okay, this is an account. Hmm. Yeah. So see, this is the account. It says now. This is a cache problem, man. Sometimes. Okay, revenue this one, industry this. Okay, if I hit save, yeah. So now it is coming. See, I think I was doing some silly mistakes. So here I just named that as an account. That's why it is taking the context as account here, and it is coming right. Did you notice it?
Yes, yes, so
So here, let me see. Finally, final account, and then 11000 industries. Now, if I create, if I hit save here, it shows account created, and this is my ID. So if I go here, I'll see my final account created. This is something else. So do you? I will. Sorry, guys. I mean, I'll make some more right examples. Maybe uh, it is little bit of context based working, and when I give you some right example, it might work. But uh, this is really something not working and we don't know why. Okay. So now next coming back, I thought I will cover some more items today, but I couldn't do it. Uh, so this one we have talked right before handle submit. Before submitting this one, we check this one. Okay. So far you have seen. I will give this example and then we'll conclude for the day. So far you have seen whatever I have used in the record. If I go back to this example, right? Where is that example? Here, this one. So you see, lightning record form. Whatever I have used, I can use this in create mode, which we just did. Edit mode, view mode, read only mode. Um, I can do all this, but I cannot do custom layout for fields. Okay, which means it can be done either uh, one column or two column. I don't have much control on how I want this form or the component to look like. So if I want to do some more uh, customization or change in the look and feel, in that case, I should be using the Lightning Record view form or the edit form. Both, both are possible. So let's start with the record view. It says display record with custom field layout. Custom field layout. Use the Lightning Record view form components. So if you look at this one, right, I have used this div, this div. So if I go to the Lightning designing system and then search for the it, for example, you see this is my 3 column, right, where I have given this class, this one, this one, this one. If you look at this one, so there are many different way you can arrange your divs and then component inside. If you look at this one, so grid SLDS wrap 1 of 12 and this one. So it tells you you have 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? 12 column. If I come here, it says, see, I have taken 3. So 1 of 3, it will show 3 in a row. This is a 3 column. So let's take this example and see how it looks. I come here, come to the HTML and then copy paste this one. And just this. We record. HTML is this. So what I'm doing, understand, I'll just do this record ID. Record ID at API and then I'll include the API. Okay, and here what I'm doing is Record ID is the record ID that I'm passing. So it will automatically take it from the context of where this component is running on. An object API name is what? The account object. So in the account object, the record ID means which record I am on, and then it will display the value this way. Let me see if I can do a little bit of formatting. Yeah. So if you see this one, so here it shows name, phone number, industry annual revenue, industry number of employees, and everything, right? So if I want to deploy this one, go here, and this is my account record, and if I click on the edit page, save. If I come back here, do I have to activate? Yeah. So if you look at this one, right? So it says, see, do you see this one? I mean, if I go here, you see two columns, right? Now, if you go here, you see three columns, so 1, 2, and 3. So if my need is to, let's say your customer says I need the three columns to display my items. In that case, it will be like that. So let's say 1 on 1. And the employees. And the employees. So this is my total. So if you look at this one, right? So I am having a three column view, which is not possible by default. It can be only one or two columns in Salesforce out of the box way. But if you look at this one, I'm displaying it in three columns. So it is up to you how you want to display things. If you really want to display the items in your way, in that case, you can use the Lightning Data Service edit or view form, and then make the way you want. Okay. So let me do one more thing. This is not related to the Lightning recorder view. Let me see. Let me hit the page, and you see this one, right? I will just delete this one. And if you look at the, if I click on this one, right, it shows tabs. So let me add one more tab, say custom. And in the custom, I'll say, my, or let's say custom tab. Then hit done. If I come here in the custom tab, and then let's say I drag this one, and then hit save. So that's how you can make use of the custom tab and then arrange your record accordingly. So if I now go back, I think I have some problem with my cache. It is not coming in one name. So if I go to the custom tab right now, I'll see my items in three columns. Okay, so that's how you can keep on creating your tabs, and then you can bring your component that you have built. Okay, So this is how you can use the lightning record edit form, lightning record view or edit form. We just seen the view one. We have not talked about the edit one yet. So if I, let's say, come here and then change the phone number to 2222 and then hit save, then if I come to the custom tab, I'll see the changes reflected here, because it's all connected to the data or the record and it is reflecting everywhere. Any questions so far? I understand there are few confusions, the way I explained, some of the components were not working. That's why you are a little bit of confused today maybe, but I'll make sure that, I will have, I mean, it was all running. I'm not sure why it is not working. Maybe I'm making some silly mistakes. That's why it is not, coming up properly. But I'll make sure next time when we talk, in our next session, I will, come up with all these examples and then workable examples which will work. Okay, so I'll do some more homework and then come back. But this one is clear to you, right? The one that I just showed you.
Yes, Sumit.
Yes.
Yeah, any question so far? Tell me if you have any question. We can discuss for next 10 minutes, or we can conclude for the day. Because if I take the next topic, it will take more time. So I don't want to start. So if you look at this one, if you look at the slides, right? We talked about the data, how we, first of all, if you are not using the data record in the system, in the Salesforce system, then we have used many mechanism of dealing with the component. Now next is the lightning data service. So have you noticed that whatever we have used so far to consume the data, we have just used the UI API, like this one, user interface API. So I'm just declaring all these fields and importing them and using it directly, right? So, and you are interacting with the data, making the changes, retrieving the changes, saving, doing the updates, creating the record and all. And for that, we have not used any Apex code or any SOQL to deal or to exchange the data between the system and us, UI, right? So this is happening because everywhere we are using the lightning record edit form, lightning record form, lightning record view form. Okay. And while we use it, there are certain constraints, okay, that you are following some pattern and practices and using it accordingly. But there could be requirements which are not fulfilled through this lightning record edit form. Okay, that's where you have to use the Apex methods. So you have your UI, you are not using the lightning record form, but you will create your own Apex method, and within your Apex method you will have your SOQL or whatever you call it, whatever expressions you would like to do inside the Apex class. But from the UI we will call the Apex method, and then we'll interact, which we will talk in our next session. Okay, so my action item is to take some good examples for the lightning record form, including lightning record view form. We have not talked about lightning record edit form yet. So I'll take those examples, and plus we'll finish the data binding through the Apex methods. Okay. Any question? So if you don't have any more questions, then I think we can conclude for the day.
So Suman, in the lightning record form, we have events like on submit, on success. Can we have on error event also?
Yeah, we can have it.
Okay.
I'll take that example in the next session. So on success, on submit, and on error. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Anything else? Okay. Then thank you guys. See you on Wednesday. Have a good
Yes.
time.
Yes. Thank you.
Next weekend.
Thank you,
Thank
Suman.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.